Hi, it's Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, in this episode, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you a powerful morning success ritual that I teach all my clients that gets them set to have a powerful and successful business day. So let's get into our conversation for this episode. Reality is this: how you spend the first 30 to 60 minutes of each and every day sets the tone for the day. Right? And I want you to think about two possibilities. Possibility number one, which some of you is your current reality, is you get up, whatever time that is, and the first thing you do is you reach for your mobile device, and then the next thing you do inside of that mobile device is you reach for the email, and then you probably look at some news, and then it probably puts you in a pissy mood, and then you wonder why when you just are in reactionary, crappy mode. So that's possibility number one. Possibility number two, the possibility that I teach, the reality I teach for my clients, is we start the day in a very systematic way with a sequence, a syntax, if you will, a protocol, all right? We call it the Magellan Morning Eight. It's an 8-step protocol that I've worked on. It's tried, it's proven. It works for every advisor who ever implements this, and here's reality. If you want to have a great business day, and I'll let you define what that is to you because that's going to be different, that's going to start with the great morning. Now, before we get into this scenario, because I know some of you are going to sit there and say, well, yeah, Joe, but I've got little kids, I've got this. You can modify this process. I've got single moms that I work with who have got triplets, and they execute this. So I don't want to hear that it cannot be done, because the women I work with will actually just slap you if you're a man, because they do 10 times the amount of work you do in the morning to get stuff done, and yet they're committed to getting this done. So let me share the protocol with you. Now, when I say protocol, I also want to let you know it does not mean that you have to have things in a certain sequence. So here are the rules of this game. Number one, this has to be done before you enter your day-to-day business environment. So for some of you, that's going to be an actual physical office, like outside the home. For some of your physical office may be inside the home, and that's fine too. Or you may be going out to meet somebody for breakfast, right? You may have like one of those meetings, and that's fine also. But the rule is that this has to be done before you enter the game for that day. So let me go over them and again, some sort of order, if you will. But again, remember, it's not like you have to follow the sequence, and be flexible with it. So, one of the things we want to do is we want to visualize success. Studies have shown that athletes, when they use visualization techniques, it improves their performance. So in our game, what we want to do is visualize things in what I call a duality. Number one, I want you to visualize what I call strategic success for like your 5-year vision, your ideal life and lifestyle. How you want to create your world, right? How you want to create you. And then what I want you to do is visualize on a very tactical sense, which is what's going to happen today. Maybe you have a review with a top client. I want you to visualize that review going really well, really powerfully. Maybe you have a meeting with a prospect. I want you to visualize controlling that room, asking powerful questions, getting the yes. Maybe it's just going to be a day where you're going to be just kind of doing your thing. I want you to visualize in your office, taking control of conversations, leading your team, being in that power state, right? So, and if you think about it, this is 30 to 60 seconds. We're not talking a lot of time here. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to have a conversation with yourself. So we call it power questions, statements, and declarations, right? So power statements: I'm going to have a great day today. Questions: what has to happen for me to have a great day today? Statements: I'm going to rock star my world out today. So remember, a declaration has more power, a statement has less power, and a question is a question, right? So, hey, what must I do to be effective in so-and-so's review? Hey, what must I do today to really lead my team effectively? Question: what must I do in order to drive referrals and introductions into my door, right? Declaration: I'm going to ask 3 times a day for introductions. That's the declaration. So if you think about that game, and then you can do any kind of questions you want, right? As long as they're empowering. Like, don't ask, well, why do I always screw up, right? That's not the kind of question we want to start our day with. What are we talking about? Again, another 30 to 60 seconds. Not a big deal, right? Then what we want to do is at some point review our goals. Now in my game, and I'll share, for those of you who are on video, what I have my clients create, it's a 2-page quarterly game plan. And what we have them do is review that each and every day in the morning. So if you look at it, I mean, I'm not going to go into the details here on this video, but if you look at it, it's a 5-minute read, literally 5-minute read, right? So we do that. Then we're either going to be reviewing or creating our daily game plan. Now, my preference is that today's game was set up yesterday afternoon or yesterday evening, right? That way you sleep on it, your brain works on it, and now you're in review mode versus creation mode. So reviewing this, 5 minutes. Reviewing your daily game plan, 5 minutes, right? So I'm into 12 minutes right now, ballpark, something like that. Then what I want you to do, and this is something that we've added recently, is literally take 5 minutes and meditate. Now I've sucked that meditation. I used to think it was weird. All right. In the last couple of years, I've become a big believer of that. So I use an app called Headspace, but there are plenty of apps, stuff like that can guide you through the process. And for those who are watching on video, sometimes I'll sit right there on the couch of my office, and I'll have my Headspace with my just have it playing on my iPhone, and I just kind of sit there and what I'm really doing is just kind of clearing the mechanism. Think about it's like reboot when your computer slows down. And it's just, and they say, okay, just reboot it and clear the RAM, right? Well, in meditation, for me, it clears my RAM, kind of empties it, right? And then I'm able to go ahead and operate at a higher level. So we're talking 5 minutes. Now, obviously, you don't do this while you're driving your vehicle, but I do have clients that will literally sit in the parking lot of either their office building or Starbucks or a park or wherever they are, and they'll literally meditate in their vehicle. Right? Just don't do it when you're driving, obviously. Not a good idea. The other thing we like to do that I recommend is part of our 8-step protocol is journaling. So, writing, and for some guys like, dude, I don't want to write my thoughts down. It's like, that's weird, right? When you get it, again, when you get your thoughts on paper, or I'll even dictate it, like using mobile assistant or Scribe or something like that. And so sometimes I'll do an audio, if you will. That way, or sometimes I'll just journal, using Evernote for me is what I tend to use. 100 to 500 words. That is like a 3 to 5 minute process. And now if you dictate it, it's a lot faster. Now, why do we do that? Again, clear the machine. Most human beings carry so much here that it really clogs up our cognitive thinking, our creativity, and our ability to focus, because we have all the stuff rattling around, right? So we want to clear that. So I'm talking again another 5 minutes. Well, follow me on this. So what are we up to now? 12, 15 minutes, maybe, right? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do 5 minutes of exercise. And hey, we're not going to get fit or healthy in 5 minutes. But what that allows us to do is get the heart going, get the blood flowing, right? And when I say exercise, walking the dog, taking a walk yourself. Some of you, I know some of my clients will do like air squats and push-ups and sit-ups for 5 minutes, and that's cool. Someone get on a bike, an elliptical, rower, treadmill, whatever. Hey, whatever works for you is fine. Again, I would not call this, hey, I worked out today, check a box. But what it does do is it wakes you up. It gets the blood flowing, you're alive, you move things like, if you're watching me on video, you see I have this stand-up desk. So I'm always kind of in motion when I do my work, when I'm coaching my clients, when I'm shooting videos like this. And then the last thing we do is we practice one act of gratitude. And what we do with that act is, it could be anybody, it doesn't matter. It could be a family member, a friend, a member of our business team, could be a client, could be a center of influence, could be the kid who cuts your grass, doesn't matter. And a lot of times, what I'll recommend my clients do, depending on who it is, number one, if it's somebody like close, you just text them. Hey, I want to thank you for being my friend, or I appreciate you. It's simple as that. If it's a client, maybe you'll write a little note just saying, I really have appreciated the last 10 years, 15 years, the trust. Just so with no expectations, nothing. But you practice gratitude. What's that, 2 or 3 minutes? So let's recap. So this is the protocol that we work and run inside of Magellan Network. This is my group coaching model, and all of you can spend a month with me on me just checking it out. This is some of the work that we do. So let's recap our Magellan Morning Eight, our morning ritual protocol. Visualization, conversation, reviewing our goals, game plan, like I said, a strategic plan, like our quarterly game plan here, reviewing our daily game plan, right? We meditate, we exercise, we journal, we're grateful. 8 things. Now, add them up. I've tested this. I've had clients test this. It's literally between 20 and 30 minutes. Now, you could do part of it at home, like part of it in bed, right? And give some variation. So I've got clients that will do some of this at home, like the visualization, the conversation, right? Even the meditation. Then they got to get the kids ready for school. We complete the rest of it in the car, wherever we are. That's what we do. So you could break it up in terms of sequence, in terms of location, but the rule is it gets done before you start your business day. And here is my challenges, 2 challenges here. Number 1, do this for 1 business week. Monday through Friday, reorganize your mornings, 20 to 30 minutes. And look, I'm always going to be, I'm a realist here. It's going to be somewhat uncomfortable because it's a change in habits. It's a change in behavior. It's a change in ritual. But this is when I talk to a new client, we talk about the success pyramid, my version of it. The morning ritual is the base of our pyramid. You want a bigger bank account, you want a bit more success, you start here with the base. And that is the daily base, which is our morning success ritual, or now as it's known as our Magellan Morning 8 protocol. You want to find out more about our Magellan game and also the daily game plan and our core 4 processes, MagellanNetwork.net. Come on in 30 days. I don't sell you on anything. You'll know if it's right for you or not by experiencing it. And with that being said, this is Coach Joe Lucas. Thank you for watching and listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. And please feel free to share this with your friends and colleagues. So there you have it. If you really enjoyed watching this episode, go ahead and subscribe to the Magellan Network Show with Coach Joe here on YouTube. And remember, I'm always here to help you become a better entrepreneur, business owner, and financial advisor. With that, I'll see you next time on the Magellan Network Show with me, Coach Joe. Take care and goodbye.